Good morning, everyone. Looks like shit out there, huh? CPI print. Inflation came out hotter than expected. You know why I like days like today? Because today are a great day to scan the leaders and to see how they are holding up. Right? Some just needed a little bit more base building and they had already made a nice move up, and this is an opportunity for them to, pull back, so to say, and find support on rising moving averages. It's the whole idea. But I must admit, things don't look too great. At least not for today. I was thinking possibly some uranium names were ready today. I was thinking possibly Array was ready today. What's up, girl? Okay, give me a minute. Okay, girl, let's get you a bone. Yeah. You know what's funny is names like STNG don't move down at all. They hold up perfectly fine. They don't know what the market's doing. Hmm. Yeah, see names like Pan W essentially just get to build out this right side of the base even more. Days today are good. Like days like today are good. The right hand of this chart gets to be built out even more, put in an even better volatility contraction pattern. Like a name like this could very well be a leader, posted great earnings, digested the move fairly well the first time, came right back up. It's just building out the right hand side of its base. And what is a leader can continue to be a leader. I mean, look at what Pan W has done. What's good, fam? I see you. Hard times. It's my family right there. Yeah, PDD is another one of those. So slight pullback just gets a better opportunity to build out the right side of its base. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the chart. Days like today are good. Good for the leaders. It's PRVA. Unbelievable. Some of these are so slow. Goodness gracious. Yeah. No worries, Seth. Yeah, happy to do it. But it looks like today is a good day for scanning. I say this all the time. Great day for scanning. See what's holding up. Little choppy Chesapeake. Yeah. They were looking so promising, these oil names. They were looking so promising and got hammered. But everything's still good. CPRX. Yeah, this Catalyst Pharmaceutical. God, man, this is crazy. You know, I had an alert set down here. Just never took it. I didn't like the setup, really. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's up, Dr. Luca? How are you? ORA. Yeah, sun shaping up. A little slow. A little thin. That looks good. STNG. No, I don't. Although it's breaking out on massive volume. What's the news? Yeah, I don't like chasing bios up like this personally, and I wouldn't look for dips either. I mean, you were either in on the move early when it broke through out on the daily through 14, 15 through this level here, But I wouldn't chase it. You know, you're just chasing dips that you assume will be the low or that will hold. I like buying the breakout. Yeah, it's up well over 100% already. I wouldn't chase it. I mean, not. I would just wait for a setup. I mean, think about where it's going to be up on the chart. You know, it's going to be, you know, up here. Whoops. You know, it's going to be damn near up here at open. Is that something you really want to buy on the daily? You know, if you're not even looking at the hourly? I don't think so. Not unless you were there early, or you can find a safe entry through opening range highs. And again, you know, take that for what it's worth. If it's that powerful of a setup and that powerful of a move, just let it set up. If it's meant to go higher, it'll go higher. What's that one name? What's that one? Hold on. AXSM. Yeah, here you go. You know, something can go from low 20s to, you know, skip up to 30 or 40 in a couple days. Just let it set up. You know? If something's truly meant to go higher, it'll go higher. And it'll give you a couple safe entries to do it. I just want to know, like on array, that if it's going to undercut and rally. If the market's really weak, it's going to undercut the support, right? These little wicks up and then the rally. Sometimes that is a setup that I do trade, but may not be one that I actually would consider today. We'll see if the market's going to be that weak. Usually undercut rally setups will work better when the space is looking better and the market just looks like shit. No reason to get aggressive today. Keep what you have, let it work. If it stops you out, take your small loss. Wait for conditions to improve. Wait for, you know, you to get traction on positions you already have open. You can slowly increase exposure to fully invested very quickly. Like tan didn't break out. So is your alert going to hit? Not today. But what's going to happen on the daily chart? It can come and build an even bigger base. Nothing wrong with it. Stem. Nope. What was that other one? Yikes. Yeah, Sedge looks fine too. PDD, not bad. Yeah, this a lot of names, you know, were on these little multi-day moves, and it's good for them to just tighten up some more. That's exactly what you wanted. Constructive action. But again, you know, how do they lead when they pull back? You know, do the leaders bounce? When a stock falls, is it an egg or a tennis ball? It's always what you want to try to find out. Is it an egg or a tennis ball? Some stocks splatter, some stocks bounce right back. Yeah, good day to just mind your positions. Yep. Look for the tennis balls then. Well, you just gotta wait to see if things consolidate. Nothing to do. Nothing to do here. For instance, I was saying yesterday I would have even liked to have seen CCJ built out a bigger base, let price flatten up right near these highs. This is healthy. You know, a pullback is good. And then, the market could pull back again tomorrow and even on Thursday. But some names are going to start resisting that downtrend, that pull, and they're already going to start working their way back up, building out the right-hand side of the base. Morning, Alex. Yeah, this is good for plug too. Yeah, all these names, they just need to flatten out some more. There's nothing wrong with most of the price action I'm seeing. Yeah, a lot of names now look like nothing. ASC, oddly enough, still looks just fine. Oddly enough, there are names out there that are just. Thank you. This is actually a halfway decent setup. A little thin for me. A little bit, but I will at least throw it on the radar. Nice eye. Um, but names like STNG, it's like they haven't done much in pre-market. There's nobody who's shown up to sell. 300 shares of volume. People aren't in a hurry to get rid of some of these names. So that is nice to see. Sometimes that's a stock just, STNG. Yeah, that's just sometimes, that's them screaming that they're going higher. Yeah, SHLS is part of the solar basket. SHLS is looking good. I kind of already had my level up here. Just make sure I do have an alert on it. ARRY, but again, it's, PRVA is another one. Yeah, guys, there are names that are resisting even this down move in pre-market. So it's good to have them identified for later, or if they were already in nice setups. Yeah, this one's kind of random. Not to say it can't work, but if it builds out a little bit longer of a base, I do like our house. I shop there. I got furniture there. Again, our house is fine, right? It's not that it's not fine, but what sector is it in, right? The reason your stock gives as big of a move as it does, it's because it's in the right sector, not because it's got a nice setup. I want a bigger move. I mean, it's nice that it moves out of a nice setup, but I want a bigger move, and that's going to come because it's got a nice setup. Because it's in the right sector. It could have a 3-star setup, a 2-star setup, a half a star setup. Guys, we went over this one yesterday. Sun W. Okay. It had like a fucking 0-star setup. All right. And then just ended up going for, 180, 190%. Why? Because it's had a perfect 5-star setup? No. Because it's in the right sector. So, again, our house. It's $30,000 couches, man. Let that shit sink in. Sector, sector, sector. Do-do-do. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Only $17,000 couches now. Affordable for everyone. Sure, business will be booming. Man, Sig has gotten that ass kicked, huh? Once had a relative strength of 99 and was looking amazing on the front side. Not necessarily amazing, but for higher ADR, bio name, his bio names can go crazy. Bloom energy blown up. Let's not talk about GovX. It's a piece of shit. It's a real piece of shit. Just a pump name. No edge. No edge trading shit like that. For a day trade, maybe. That's about it. This Oak Street Health, huh? Oak Street Health shaping up. Not bad. ADR's not bad. Oak Street Health. What happened? Yeah, dude, Don's unfortunate, man. I broke my own sell rules and I had it at 14 and some change, 15 and change, 15.22. God, oh man. That's what happens. Too early. Bought the EP and stopped myself out. Terrible. Yeah, there's no setup here. See this line down here? That's where I was watching RXDX. Down at 29. When things were a little bit tighter and it was building out a nice base and it was in the right sector. That's when my eyes were on it. If you wanted to buy it on this day on 720, you could have when it gapped outside of that little neckline. But I don't see much here. Any of these bars look tight to you? A tight daily candlestick? Maybe here. Oops. Right on. Buying it there. Nice tight day. Relatively speaking. Now, where's your edge? Where's your edge? This thing's up 100% in 2 months and 60% from the 200, 30% from the 50. Nah, nothing there. Yeah, it's just not ready. It'll hit your scan when it's more ready. But yeah, that can be a stock that pulls back in a market like this, and it, market could look like shit for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 days. You never know. And RXDX is just gonna set up perfectly. All right, guys, market's about to open. Good luck.
KSPN. Time. KSPN. Oust. KSPN. PRTY. LTCH. SLPRTY.
Yeah, DVN acting well. Some of these names are bouncing right from the lows, but we'll see how the rest of the day plays. Oxy, DVN, they look good. Oxy's must be Uncle Warren. Buying it right off of the 50 on the daily. Not bad. We'll see how that holds today. But everything's nice and red. Yeah. Yeah, oil names are right back to green. DVN and Oxy are acting about as well as I expected with that drop. They are getting it right back. Might be. Oops. Yeah, the names that you would expect to be holding up, at least for me, are doing exactly that. PDD seems to be holding up well, possibly putting in a higher low on the daily. We'll see how that closes. GTLB looks fine. ENPH looks just fine. DVN is right back up to where it basically closed yesterday. Even higher, actually. CCJ bouncing right off the 10 on the daily. Oxy's right back. DVN's really acting incredible, though. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. PXD2. I have no position in this thing, but honestly, they have the best yield in the market. They're the best yielding name in the entire market. So they've got incredible amount of cash on hand. They pay a great dividend. They've got tons of money to do cash stock buyback. You could look up PXD. I'm not pumping the name. I got no position. I give a shit less, but they really do have the best yield in the entire market. BTU even coming back. Look at that. It's stronger today even with the move down than it was yesterday. Speaking to these names, PTU, we had the alert set, just never hit yesterday. Sure enough, it's hitting today. Wonder how AR's looking. AR's looking just fine. EQT's looking just fine. God, these could use some time, man. EQT was such a nice chart down here. Right when it perked up out of this range, tightened up, and then really took off. Unbelievable. EQT looks great. AR. Yeah, BTU. These names are up to something. We'll see. ASC broke out for you? Thought I had an alert there. I never got one. I didn't get one. Just feels thin. And that's the only problem. ASC just feels thin. Yeah. It's nice little volatility contraction pattern. Not really my style. Again, thin. You know, really thin. Can't really play something like that myself. CRK. Yep, this name was acting well yesterday, and guess what it's doing today? No surprise. These names still want to lead the market. What a move, man. AMR had a couple nice setups down here at 25 bucks. Had another one at 16.50. Here was your first good setup right there. On 526 at 16 bucks. Had another one at 25. Had another one at 65. Had another one in this little gap up day right here. It wasn't really, yeah, it was a gap up day. It wasn't really news, so I'm like usually wary about buying those, but you could have probably gotten in around 53 pretty easy. And then had another one at 65. And it goes to 186. So anybody that thinks so, and it even had a nice setup down here. I took apart this chart, AMR, 822 as well, from 8 bucks. So anybody who thinks that a chart's gone up too high, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. So market's going down, but energy names are going up. And they are really going up, which means ERX looks fine. Gosh. Obviously should all look similar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see a ton to do here. The only name on my watch list in my whole portfolio that's green right now is DVN. What a champ.
BTTR. Stack. Stack. FRTG. Stack.
Yeah, names like GTLB, they're resisting the market going down. Tried to fail
Stack.
and rallied. Strong fails can lead to strong rallies, and false breakouts can lead to strong breakdowns. GTLB was one of the first tech names to bottom down in March. Bottomed with China names actually, and it hasn't revisited those lows. Future leaders, they tend to bottom before everything else. Nice to remember. Nerve. Yeah, Nerve just needs much more time. But it's shown it can make a big move. Super fast ADR. How long have I been trading full time? Going on 2.5 years, I think. June of 2020, whenever that is.
FRTG.
If ENPH doesn't close above the 20 today, I probably will end up cutting the rest of it. Unfortunately, it's the second time this freaking thing's trying to shake me out. I just got that ASC alert. I won't take it myself. SWN, huh? Another one still holding up. Huh? Yeah, the semi name. Problem is it's just, oh wow, nice high. Yeah, it's just imagine markets tanking and AEHR's flying. Would be nice to see this thing flatten out a little bit, give me a clean supply line, but dang. I played AEHR down here, off of this day's high, 1080s. Yeah, wasn't a bad one. Energy names are by far the strongest. By far. We'll see how solar holds up. BJ looks great. BJ's was good. CCJ bouncing right back, finding support on the 10, putting in higher lows, building in the right hand side of the base. Exactly what you want to see stocks doing. CELH, we'll see. We'll see. The entries were down here in the 60s. 60 and mid 70s. Could even take it again in the 80s. Right there. Right there. And maybe coming out of this base somewhere in here. Just, right out of the tight red days. It's one of my favorite spots to buy. Tight red day, take that position. Or an add, tight red day. Get long on 727, 720. Whoops. Or right here. 7.5. It's basically little variations of the same setup. In an uptrend. Nothing magical. ISEE, huh? This thing's made a massive move. The charts are doing, it depends what you're looking at. If you're in the right sector, like these oil and energy, you're looking good. Uranium name, doing exactly what you'd expect, at least from the leader. It's bouncing right back. Celsius building out a bigger base. DVN looks very nice. It's going to give another nice clean entry, clean supply on the daily. 7160s. Nice little inside day. Could be a good add or a new position tomorrow. Who knows? PDD looking better. Yeah, DVN's a nice flag. It's perfect. Nice little pretty much daily spot. 7160 is what I'll be eyeing tomorrow. I wouldn't take it today. I already scooped some yesterday. But if it just tightens up, I mean, it would be insane if it tightened up another day and then went on Thursday. That would be even better. But if it just closed right under here, that would make it perfect in my eyes. Absolutely perfect. But another day would be perfectly fine too. I'm good with both. I would not mind owning more of that name. What's the next best looking flag? CELH honestly looks pretty damn good. And this daily is held up pretty well. I'd say another week and this thing would be even better. Truthfully. ENPH I wouldn't mind if it'll hold this 20 here on the daily and then just kind of close a little bit stronger, maybe even play it as a higher low setup tomorrow over today's highs, just bouncing right out. Yeah, be back in a week. Yep, smart man, you know the deal. Tan looks good too. We'll see. But yeah, everything could use a week. Literally. A name like STEM looks really good in a week. Tan would look good in a week. Sedge could look good in a week. I mean, PDD could look good in a week, for real. ENPH. DVN could look good tomorrow. Celsius could look good in a week. I mean, you give a lot of these names CCJ 5-6 more days. I mean, Array, I guess at this point, another 5-6 more days. Yeah, just a few more days on everything. And here's the thing, the market could look like shit. A lot of these names will still build out, and they need that week. Yeah, PDD just needs a week. Looks great. Looks fucking great. Please, AVYA, don't mention turds like that in here. That doesn't need a week. It needs a year. It needs a year. All good. It's just a piece of shit. Let's focus on names that are at least over $10. At the least. Remember this. The names most likely to double in our market, are start in the $30 range. Not in the $2 range. As much as people would like me, as much as people would like to believe that cheap names are the ones that double, it's not. They start in the $30 range. No, Paul's good people. That's my guy. We can't ban him. We just gotta correct him. It's the trolls we'll quickly get rid of. Yeah, we talked about Sava yesterday. Unbelievable. Holy shit, Sava. Yo, Cam. Unbelievable, Sava. We said it yesterday. Yeah, this thing, yeah, exactly. Cheap stocks are cheap for a reason. Yes, Sava might be setting up. Somebody knows something. Somebody wants in this name. They've wanted in this name. I mean, this gave a halfway decent setup down here if you were on it. Put in these little higher lows after this move up. Never broke down, filled the gap. Found support on the rising 20. And, you could have gotten in over that previous day's height, 25.50. But at this point, I don't see a ton to do. Not on that name. Yeah, he probably is. He loves this name. Yeah, a lot of names acting well. The names you would expect to be acting well are acting well. Yeah, ARRY just needs some time. CCJ acting well. It's probably my favorite thesis in the market, not necessarily my favorite chart. Yeah, so man, I've seen my buddy Cam do 90 grand on 1,000 shares on that name. Yeah, CCJ is acting really well. And I personally believe that institutions will be buying CCJ. It's the only name with any kind of real liquidity for big institutional players that want to get into the uranium space. It's the leader. That and whatever company is in, I forget what country that is. Whatever country mines a ton of uranium, not named Canada. Let's see. Kazakhstan. That's the one. Yep. Yep. This name's doing exactly what you'd expect. Interesting. Cheap ass name. So oil and gas holding up well. I did well on this thing on this front side. In here. You could even own cheap ass names as long as they're in the right sector. They got a halfway decent setup. When oil and energy goes, it goes. Man, what a choppy ass name, Veru. Hey, people, wish you gonna scoop Veru again or what? I mean, you did make some good coin from right around this area. Nova. Just a little thin. Yeah. Pass. My name's not Cam, it's Ariel. Yeah, whoever mentioned AKRO, that's not working out too well. That's why you just wait for a setup. SQM2. This is another one. People wish if this thing could tighten up a couple more weeks through all-time highs, this thing could be a perfect setup. Blue sky territory kind of chart. Nothing in its way. Increased earnings quarter over quarter. Really nice fundamentals. And it'll be a nice technical chart if it can just go sideways another, I don't know, week. SQM. Huh? Of what? Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. When you see something going up like AEHR, like this, in a shit market like that, I mean, the very least, it should just be put on a watch list. You know, it should be on watch for later. you have to just hope you get a clean supply line, a clean level, something you can work with, something tight, but you gotta have it on watch. Yeah, man, I would love to just see DVN close like this today. Tomorrow could be a great add day or initiate a new position. Add to already what you believe to be one of the stronger names in the market, and that's what I always like to do. But you treat it like a whole new buy, right? You would treat it like a whole new position. Oh, nice. At where? Okay. Well, that's not bad. It's showing incredible amount of strength right now. That's for sure. A bit of a chase. If you ever want to take charts like this, my best advice, like, is you have scanned for them the night before, and your intentions are to buy it over the previous day's high. Like, you have to be ready for this down at 1475, 1480 if you ever want to buy something that, because it did hold the 50-day yesterday. You could have seen that on the daily, right? It's down at 1350. But if you're gonna buy this thing, you have to be prepared to buy it down at 1480 and not 1520. I'm not saying what you did can't work. I'm just saying you need to make sure that you're limiting your risk as much as possible, because it's still a dollar. You got $1.20 risk versus 80 cents. No, yeah. It's fine, but I'm just saying how you, if you're gonna execute something like that, that's how you got to do it. And that's just for your own, for your own headache, so you can avoid one. Because remember, we're not even in a good market at all. So this is like clearly flashing some signs of strength, but yeah, big volume, already super early day compared to any other candlestick, and it's early day. It's going to put in a really big green candlestick. That's an institutional player getting in, and he'll probably continue to buy it, right? I mean, that would be the expectation. But again, you can't bank on that. So if you ever do want to take a name like AEHR, just make sure that you keep it on watch, set that alert, and be ready to execute over the previous day's high. It's my best advice. Otherwise, yeah, dude, this thing is screaming right now. I wish I would have been paying attention to it. Yeah, great day to identify relative strength. Like AEHR, we were just talking to my buddy about it. This is exactly right. Look at the S&P. Here you go. I'll pull up the SPY. Okay, and then and then AHR. Again, there's no setup here, right? The setup, if you were gonna take it, for me, which I even told my friend, is like you have to be prepared to execute over the previous day's high, which was 1473. So if you're ready to execute right down there as this thing's breaking through on the hourly or even smaller time frame, well, great. You were prepared for that. It's a name you wanted to own, fantastic, and you had 70-cent risk. And it's doing that in this market. That's imagine if the market weren't doing this. AEHR would be absolutely fucking flying. Neo. Yeah, I said Neo yesterday too. Neo is the inverse to Lee now. Neo and Lee are inverse charts. Yeah, exactly. When you see stuff like that, you want to pay attention to when charts are screaming in a shitty market and Neo's screaming in a shitty market, right? today, or even for the last few days on heavy relative volume. Where again, we just looked at it. AEHR. Look at that hourly candlestick that's coming in. It's nice. SQM. SQM bounced right off the 20.
QIND.
No, you wouldn't, nor would you want to. Nor would you want to.
PMS.
But I'm saying if you were prepared for it and the market were healthier and you realized yesterday that this essentially put in a higher low here and held the ascending 50, if you set an alert at yesterday's high and then it triggers today,
NCF.
you can take a setup like that as a higher low setup. I mean, not every entry is going to be perfect, so you do have to figure out alternate ways to get into names that you want to be in, that you believe have proper fundamentals. The reason this is getting bought is because of solid fundamentals. It doesn't look like this is some Discord putting in 600,000 shares, and on no news, or they just got another multi-wafer test system, new customer. Okay, so they just keep acquiring new customers. Their fundamentals are already solid. If you were prepared for this because it put in a higher low and then it puts in good news, yeah, you can take it. It's just got to be with proper size. And yeah, I mean, you can't anticipate a move like this. I mean, you wouldn't have seen it coming, right? I wouldn't have really seen it coming. But again, if you scan the market religiously, that's why we scan, right? You would have scanned and your chart would have looked like this on the daily. And you'd have been like, that wicked up off the 50, put in a higher low. If it gets over yesterday's high, we'll see the volume and, we'll make a decision if we would buy something like that tomorrow. And as it starts ripping through there, I go to the smaller time frame and I'm seeing massive volume rampant, like right away. You're like, wow, 110,000 shares. Then again, it'd be tough to buy, but again, it ends up working. It's more about the preparation for it than it is anything else. I mean, the daily chart's bouncing right off the 50, and then it rips through on high relative volume. On good news. It didn't gap up through the level, it ripped through the level. So, and again, doing this in a crappy market, it's got my attention. Maybe just some, hey, girl, take it easy. Got my puppy wants to play. But yeah, chart putting in a candle like that, holding up this well in a market this bad, or on a gap down day like today, that's relative strength. Seeing SQM pop right back up and hold the 20, so not surfing the 20, on a day like today, relative strength. LTHM doing something incredibly similar, bouncing right off the 20, again, higher lows, holding the 20, holding the 20, holding the 20. I mean, which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, another one. GTLB holding well. CCJ bouncing off the 10. It's not even getting down to the 20 like LTHM. One surfing the 10, one surfing the 20. Which one you really think is stronger? Yeah, some of these are LAC. LAC's a nice chart too. People wish might like this here pretty soon. Might be one for him. Nova looks pretty good, just a touch thin for me. Nothing to do in this one. Plus it had that big washout. Wouldn't mind another day or two of sideways. Yeah, FSLR looks fine. FSLR looks fine. This is why I was talking about having trouble with FSLR, buying the, coming out of this 5-day tight, just because it had already made such a big move up on the daily. And then, of course, it retested that breakout level, which is fine, and it held. you know, and of course it would retest, you know, on a day like today, but it's a leader, and what did it do? Bought right back up, bounced off the 10. This thing refuses to even come down to the 20. Take note, you know, of the strength in your market. I would love to get long this name, but like it's tough. I'm finding it hard to pull the trigger. I'm just being a little, you know, I'm not even gonna call myself what it is, but it's what I'm being. It's terrible. How about sideways for 2 weeks? Yeah, Nerve just came up on my scanner. Funny. APRN2. This thing's a turd. But it's trending. It's trending. Yeah, I see ENPH. Yeah, that's a position of mine. But we're just hanging out. We're it has to close below the 20 on the daily. If it doesn't close below, I'm not micromanaging it. I did a good job. I sold some at 309. I sold some again, you know, a little higher, like think like 318 or something like that, somewhere up here. The next second day. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna micromanage the thing. It's just gonna have to work. If it builds out another little, you know, tight entry, I'll add. You know, Rivian's starting to act better too. It's got insane amount of overhead. Um, but I gotta look into this. I think aren't they backed by Amazon and somebody else? And I do see their trucks on the road, so I can't hate too much. It's also floating up higher on lower volume today. Not something I love seeing, but it's early. It's early. But yeah, Rivian been acting much better. Hopefully one of these days it'll creep up over the 200 and get itself settled. Yep. Yeah. Speaking of Ford, we talked about Ford yesterday. I said it wasn't perfect. And what do you get? A gap down, hanging out on the 200. We'll see if it builds out this new little base against the 200. That would be about the best fucking sign you can see. You know, if this little area down here will hold for you. I mean, that's a nice little base on the daily, right? God, SQM, fucking monster today. These daily range candlesticks are nuts, but it's got my attention. Lithium, right back at it today like nothing ever happened these past 2 days. I guess it's expected. And news been acting a whole lot better too. It's Warren Buffett backed bank. Still has some good overhead too, but it's starting to get my attention. Every little pullback's been getting bought lately. Took note of that. What's up, girl? Yeah, EVs are showing relative strength. You know, Tesla's been shaping up pretty well. Tesla's been shaping up pretty well. There's nothing wrong with this pullback today. Nothing wrong with it. Just helps price action flatten out. It's perfect, actually. I wouldn't even mind seeing Tesla come down a little bit lower. Building out the right-hand side of the base for another month. If Tesla could build out for another month and then start breaking out over 314, boy, it's going to be a party. I would love to own some Tesla. I bought Tesla originally down here. 267, but it was $800 before split, so same day I bought Nvidia, AMD, Apple, bunch of other names. Yeah, that's exactly. So I got stopped out of RYTM, literally at 20, right down here. But I sold some at 16 from 1209 entry, and I sold some around 25s. And then I got stopped out on 9.6 on the rest, and then yeah, there was we were talking about it a couple days ago. You know, over this little pivot right here, 2440s, or you know, as it was moving back into the range around 22s, but it's just it hasn't really been thick anymore. You know, like no real volume, and you know, yeah, these candlesticks are kind of wide and loose. Kind of wide and loose in comparison to, you know, the two candlesticks it gave down here. Incredibly tight. Or, you know, this inside bar day. Incredibly tight. You know. Or even this inside bar day. So yeah, it's given its handful of setups, but this name really wants higher, huh? It's just so damn thin. Sonova Energy. We'll just wait for it to get perfect. Leave it alone for now. Yeah, ALB is lithium. ALB. Oh wow. No wonder lithium names are so strong today. ALB out there making brand new highs. Albemarle. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. LTHM. That's why it looks so good. SQM. That's why it's so strong. Yes, GML I saw yesterday. Yep, my buddy posted it on Twitter. And it was nice. Cup and handle, basically. Could look at it like a cup and handle setup. As soon as it took out 25.60, you know, that was your cue to get in. Nothing to do until then. And then it just flew. Nice move. Really nice move. Yeah, you see like these names like STNG, they just don't fucking budge. They don't care what the market's doing. Up, down, left, right, you know, nothing. They don't care. This is you know, God, I wish I would see a better setup, but I don't. This just looks like a rising wedge in my eyes. I'd like need to see it fail, rebuild a new little base, get tight, undercut the 20, do something, retest the 50, something. But damn, just unbelievable. I mean, it hasn't even really given any clean setups at all. It's gone. You know, best one I might see is like right there. Some higher lows, held the 20, wicked up, you know. And there you go, over that day's tops.
Step.
Didn't see many more setups in this name. Yeah, but Lee's no setup. Who gives a shit what Lee's doing today? I mean, the trend is down. You know, and just because it has, you know, a 2 day up period doesn't mean that the trend stops being down. Right? This is just bumping right up into the declining 10 and possibly declining 20, and then what? So, you know, as much as I do get that, you know, Tesla is shaping up and Neo's showing awesome strength, because it clearly is, you know, and Rivian looks better. Lucid probably looks pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. It still looks like shit. How's XPEV looking? Still looks like shit. Yeah, you know, Lee looks. I mean, if we're just looking at these last 2 hourly candlesticks, it looks great. But I'm not. You know, I'm trying to hold for a much longer move, and it's still in a downtrend. I need a setup. I need some kind of a setup. See, at least down here, right? At least down here, it put in its low, its ultimate low. It made a really nice push up in a handful of days. It floated back. It then came back down to 19 bucks and then put in another higher low. If you got in down here after this really tight day, which is what I like doing, and you got in right there over 22.70s, okay, I get that. It's pushing right back up into all its moving averages. You know, the 10 and the 20 are now ascending. It's put in higher lows. It put in its low, you know, much lower, you know, on really heavy volume. You know, it showed the ability to push up from that level. And so, you know, I get it. And the market was in this little bounce, I believe. And, you know, Lee was one of the very first names that took off. Or if you waited for another setup up here. But, yeah, I mean, it's showing really nice strength today. Really nice strength. And I won't take anything away from it showing some beautiful strength today, because that's exactly what you'd love to see. I want to see Lee set up. I like their EVs. I like Neos too. I mean, there's got to be room for more than just Tesla out there. I mean, but we'll see. You know, there's a reason Tesla's where they're at and everybody else is where they're at. And again, guys, we don't really care what they sell or what they do. We only care about a setup. That's all I care about. You know, and fact is this 50 is just starting to turn up. The 10, 20, 50 is just starting to turn up, and it's below the 200. You know, Tesla doesn't have that problem. You know, fact is Tesla's only down 30% from all-time highs, which is incredible. You know, versus Neo. You know, down 70%. Too much overhead. Not to say that it can't work, you know. Just would like to see it at least get above its moving averages. At the very least, fuck, you can't do that. And with, you know, 60% more overhead, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah, this is random. China Automotive Systems, I'm good. Plus, dude. All right. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so don't mean to call you dude, but if it trades this low of volume, it's 24,000 shares today. What exactly is anybody supposed to do here? Stem just hit my alert, but I don't like it. Not for any ads. No siree. Yeah, dude, this thing is super strong. Nice grab. Nep. On what? Yeah. Yeah, literally. Dude, look at a name like LAC. Names like that are absolutely screaming. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? On a market down day like this, and names like lithium names like ALB, SQM, LTHM. Oh my goodness, LAC. Whew. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at these moves today in a market down day. Yeah, all these names are look like they're going way higher. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for a setup. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Tough shit. You know? LTHM was a perfect setup down there. Yeah, just tons of strength in some of these names. Wow. That went on to make a nice move. Yeah, look at CSIQ. Pulls back, finds support right at the ascending 50. It's exactly what you want to see. I mean, these names aren't ready, but they're the ones that are where they're bouncing where they're supposed to be. In a market down day. That's why today's a great day for scanning. You don't got to do anything, just scan. Yeah, I didn't like STEM because of its wide candle today. Plus, you see that entry down there on the daily where it got nice and tight, put in some higher lows basically. Just like this little undercut of the area. But basically, if you draw if you draw a low down here, it held that low. If you draw your low from down here, it held, right? And it's just basically like a higher low little setup, and put in a nice tight day, and then I'm prepared to buy over the previous day's high. And you'd like to add up here, maybe add to your position as it's already working, right? But if I'm adding at 1674, call it, or 1680, but my stop is 1570, that's a $1.70 stop on a $15 name. Nah, no thank you. Not if I'm like, if you're adding tiny size, but I would rather just add it tomorrow when your risk is a whole lot lower. I'm not gonna risk 8, 9, 10% on my ads. Like, if your risk is low day. Otherwise, where's your risk off level, right? Where do you say, hey, I'm wrong, I gotta cut this position? So I'm not gonna bring up my average only to then cut the whole thing for, break even, or red, because you brought up your average so much buying it up here. Nope. You just wait. Let the thing go sideways another 2 days. Tighten out. Let price flatten out right underneath these tops. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Right? Like you would be maybe a willing buyer in a day or two if it tightens up and then gets over this day's high. You know, or over this, just the area on the daily. Right? But yeah, massive wide candle. That where's, like, come on, you want to risk all the way down there? I sure as fuck don't. Where's the setup? Yeah, Frey not bad. Frey looks a little bit better. A few more days. Even more sideways would be cool. Let price flatten out. Take out these highs.
DIGV.
Yeah, all good.
DIGV.
I'm happy to answer that, man. Yeah, that's why you just got to be patient. You want to buy it as it's coming out of a tight day. You know, stem, if you bought it yesterday, you're buying it essentially after 3 green days in a row. Remember, I look for 3 to 5 day momentum bursts, meaning you're buying shares that I'm selling. You know, here's your tight day, 9.6, and you're looking to buy it over that day's highs. It's moving right back into the range. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. I mean, I'm looking to sell into that resistance. And then it sets up again, right? Just a small little piece of the position you bought. Small little piece. And then trail the rest on the 10 and the 20. But then if it sets up and goes sideways again, and if it puts in like an inside bar day tomorrow, and then on, you know, Thursday or Friday, it rips through those tops, I'm a happy buyer to buy a brand new position apart from what you still own. So that's literally how I would trade it and manage it, and then look to add into that position. But, you know, you pay yourself after a couple days, hold the rest for a close below the 20, just like I'm doing with the ENPH. It goes sideways, sets up again, gets tight, gives me another clean pivot, and I'll add like a brand new position. But yeah, these mining names are incredibly strong today. Incredibly strong. CCJ, ALB, SQM. I mean, this shit is getting out of hand. LTHM, LAC, I mean, PLL probably. Oh man, PLL looks good. Hey yo. Nice PLL. Look, higher lows. Flagging up on the daily. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to see this thing go sideways another day or two. Boy, PLL looks fucking good. Yes, sirree. We'll see. Couple more days. 2 days. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. AHR's on one. Yeah, that's an institution. For sure it is. Stem. Keeps hitting. This damn alert. Looks good, but just not good enough to add or even engage a new position. Should be better. Just because the grocery store's open, it doesn't mean there's any produce to buy. I like my bananas to be unbruised. But yeah, you know, names are, for the most part, bouncing exactly where you would expect. Names that are showing relative strength to the market. CHK. This name keeps popping up on my list, man. It's just so wide and choppy, but it looks like it's about to go make new highs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, JKS looks good. Imagine on a down shit market like today, and JKS is popping up. I don't. Why didn't I get that alert? I get that alert. Holy shit! I didn't even have an alert set. Unbelievable. 64. Fuck. Oh well. And JKS is out of its average daily range is 5.2%, and it's 6.54 today. So it's already more than its average daily range. It's essentially something that I wouldn't buy at this point. Just extending your risk for no reason. But I should have had my alert set down at 61 and change. But that's okay. These energy names, they're the ones showing up. What's up, brother? Which one? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. It's there are stocks that just sometimes are screaming. The volume is just
DFCO.
now we just wait for the thing to set up beautifully, and it can continue to be a leader. Who knows? Yeah, yeah, man. Some of these solar names are, yeah, Purple Jesus Juice. Yep, we got you, brother. We're in the same Discord, I believe so. Just remind me. Shoot me a Discord message or some shit. Yeah, MAXN, Run, FSLR. Oh my god, FSLR, new highs. Holy shit, man. Unfucking believable. ENPH. Yeah, so much for the market washing out, huh? Some stocks just don't give a shit.
RLBY. RLBY.
Yeah, man, there are just a bunch of names acting incredibly well today. I mean, incredibly well. There are stocks right now that are just fucking screaming. Yeah, tan, perfect example. I mean, but look at FSLR, you know, I mean, look at ENPH, ARRY. I mean, ARRY has been choppy as shit, actually, but, you know, I don't know. Can't say that it's going to go because I have no idea. Yeah, MAXN. Yeah, there you go. SPWR. You get the idea. That's why tan looks so damn good. But again, even, you know, this AEHR showing insane relative strength, you know, this ALB showing awesome brand new 52 week highs in this market. I mean, imagine 52 fucking week highs in this market. SQM, awesome strength. LTHM, awesome strength. You know, LNTH hanging out right at highs, awesome strength. Yeah, I mean, there are stocks that are, you know, they're bucking the trend, and that's what you want, right? Some of these need a little bit more time, right? Some sideways, and this market is going to give them that assistance they need. It's going to be a weak market. There's going to be some weak hands. You know, it shakes them out, creates a new base, you know, gets tight, and gives you the clean entry that you need. Yeah, CPRX, they were another one. Yeah, exactly. You know, CPRX, another one. I was looking at CPRX down here, never took it. Never took it. Now look at it. Anyway. Yeah, there are just some stocks that are totally bucking the trend, and you know, that's why I say don't focus on your, you know, indices so much. The shit doesn't matter. Focus on your sector. What sector's really getting the money? Right now, it appears clear as fucking day that it's solar. I mean, it's solar, it's lithium, it's renewables, you know, it's energy, it's anything to do with the future. The future of our energy grid. It's what it appears. It appears that the future of our energy grid is getting money. Lithium names, solar names, uranium names. How's Plug looking? Maybe some renewable names. Yeah, renewable. Bloom Energy. Yep. Yeah, they're holding up. Everything's just holding up just fine. You know, yeah, nice pullbacks. I guess technically it's under the 1020, but it's pushing back up today. It really hasn't closed below, even though it gapped under. You know, some of these names are acting well, despite how shitty of a day it is out there in the SPY. You can see the SPY just looks like ass. But certain names don't care about CPI data. It's irrelevant to them. Some stocks don't know how to read CPI data.
BLEG.
Yeah.
BLEG. ACON. CIGD.
Um, Nerve. Yeah, I would need Nerve to. I mean, it's
BNGC.
perking up today. If you know, if it could start to get over today's high tomorrow, you know, you might have something. But I would like to see the 20 catch up a little bit more. You know, I'd like to see it retest the 20. And even if it puts in a nice little double bottom around 850s, 860s when it did it, that wouldn't be such a bad thing.
Herbal. Herbal. Herbal.
Yep, solar looks to be the winner.
ASPU.
Thank you. Thanks, Lorenzo in the Benz. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I miss Chris's streams too. Believe me, nothing like listening to that Swedish voice. Plus, he's hilarious. Honestly, his sarcasm's next level. But don't worry, I'll try to be equal parts asshole and sarcastic, just like Christian. Make people feel right at home. Um, it's not that I'm not shorting. It's just I'm looking for relative strength in this market. I really do want to hold things for a longer period of time, and it's tough to do that to the short side because things have a lifespan to the downside, especially when things have already gotten crushed as bad as they have over the last 18 months. I would rather try to figure out where that like new bull cycle is going to come from. Is it going to be from solar? Is it going to be from these biotech names? Is it going to be from China names setting up? Is it going to be from these uranium names? Like, I'm really trying to put my capital into work into things that are going to go, 100, 200% and be able to sit in a really long trend. And I did pretty well earlier this year on catching, the oil energy run, like when ERX set up and XLE set up down here. Here was your entry day right here. 1-3, right over those days highs. Same with XLE, exact same setup. Exact same setup. Same with COP, exact same setup on 1-3 right there. Or XOM, exact same setup on 1-3. These all had the exact same setup. So it's like, I recognize the setup for the most part. And you could see it already made a big move up, kind of flattened out, tried to undercut, held the 200, perked right back up, got tight, took out the previous day's high, right back into the range, massive volume. And sayonara. Big move. So yeah, I mean, this a setup is a setup, and it's just trying to identify where the strength's going and what's really setting up for a continued move higher. And I do believe it can be these uranium names. These lithium names have been acting incredibly well. So I'm trying to find the next thing. That's is it going to be this name like FSLR? Is it going to go to 200? Is ENPH going to go to 400? I'm trying to find, something that I can sit in for a while. And shorting, you have to manage it quite a bit more. You have to be quicker to take some profits. You have to cover into that washout. Again, I'm not really as good at shorting. I'm sure you could cover some into the weakness 3 to 5 days and then just trail on the 10-20 to the downside. Similar kind of a concept, but yeah, my brain just doesn't do it too well. Maybe it will down the road. Oh, no sodas. I'm drinking Celsius. No sodas for me. Yeah, it is. It is. I the last legitimate short that I saw that I wish I would have taken was right here. It would have been Tesla breaking below 325, basically 324, right there. Move up, pulled back, got underneath moving averages, got nice and tight, and then created this really nice flat demand area, and then broke below it, right beneath all moving averages. There was your day, below 325. 3 to 5 days, you'd have been covering somewhere into this washout, about a $50 move, $40 move, and then holding the rest till gets back up above and closes above its moving averages. So, and it never did for a while. Your cover really would have started to come. You probably would have covered a little more into this weakness. This move down was kind of insane. But yeah, then as it's starting to tighten up, as this started to form, you'd have recognized this neckline, higher lows. Once you recognize that, it was time to start to consider to trim up the rest of that. Yeah, if it goes really green on me, like great example of last one that I have. Okay, so here was this like really nice flag in my eyes, an incredibly tight day here, like super tight day. ACLS, and on 8/24 puts in a super tight day. And then the next day, if you were there to buy the breakout at 74, and then it ends up going to like almost 83. If you catch yourself a 10-12% move in a day from your breakout, I'm assuming you should have taken off 10-15% of your position anyway, and then your stop should come up to break even, and then the next day it ends up taking a big shit on you, and you'd have been stopped out, and you should have been stopped out. No reason to hope and pray, because the next day it gets even worse. So that's why we don't hope and pray. Peel some into strength and then keep the rest for the 10-20. And it didn't even turn around to you intraday. It turned around to you on the next day. But yeah, when I get a really big push same day, I do like to peel some, or at least move up to stop to break even. Don't sit around and give back all that money, or let it turn red on you. That's sacrilegious in my book. I'll take a bunch of trades, but a lot of times they're flat trades. Like, I understand where to buy something. It's the where to sell something that's tough, right? So I don't just like sell it because we got to push. That would just be day trading. Like having some sell rules is very important to take the guesswork out of where to sell. 3 to 5 days into some strength, and then trail the rest and sell it in. Sell the rest when conditions change, which is a breakdown. But you don't want to guess. This Becky's not looking bad, huh? I see you, Becky. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't really a whole lot to do today. I didn't do anything today. DVM looks like it wants to come and stop me out. Yeah, Marcy looks fine. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, scripts are great. I don't use TOS for execution though. I did get the boot from them back in my day trading days. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, glad I could teach you something. Yeah, these solar names, man. I'm not gonna lie, they fucking are strong. They should be on everybody's watch. Again, market is just steady pushing lower, and all these names bounced exactly where they were supposed to in the morning, right against the 20. I guess tomorrow will be another telling day.
Hey, what's a good solar name right now?
I mean, right now, none. A good solar name right now to buy, nothing. I mean, a cheaper one that I would keep on watch that I like really like the base that it's building is ARRY, but um,
Okay.
you got SPWR. It's just wide and loose. FSLR is the strongest. I mean, without a doubt. ENPH. They just everything needs some time in this market with everything bleeding. We just need, we just need a God stairs up, elevator down. Unbelievable how quickly things can shit the bed. Doesn't look good, and there's not much to do. Yeah, nothing to do. Just be patient. That's all we can do. Let the names that are gonna be strong set up. Another week. But names like Neo, really nice accumulation on this right hand side. Really nice big volume bars. It's always healthy to see. We'll see what Neo does in a couple of weeks. This could be the start of a nice little flagpole, and then flags out, and then we're breaking out over this neckline at $25. Could be nice. Neo could be a good one down the road. And hopefully with Tesla going, Neo takes the reins as second place, or whoever. I don't give a shit who, but talk about a hell of a day for Lee. Hell of a day for Lee. Impressive. Well, it's always a good sign to see. Yeah, hopefully these China names get their shit together. ALB. Tusk. Yeah, better setup down here. Just a cheaper name. Got even nice tight day down here. Down at 230. Or again over this day's high. But now it just needs to go sideways some more. Bigger base. Bigger base. Oh yeah, no. No setup in Lee. Nothing to do. It's nice that it's strong. It's nice that it's strong. That's all. No, there's no setup. No tight entry. No way to limit risk. And that's all I give a shit about. If I can't limit risk, I don't want to get in. You know, there's 12,000 other charts out there, guys. 12,000 other charts, and you know, 300 of them are playable with safe entries, call it. You just have to locate them. Right? Some slower than others, some more liquid than others, but that's exactly why you scan. You know, and you don't need nothing but 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 names to fill out an entire portfolio and, you know, make a shitload of money on things going up. But the idea is you have to limit risk. You know, you can't just buy something because you like it, or you can't just buy something because it made a big move today, or you can't just buy, like, you just look for a tight entry. And you're right. Lee had nothing. I totally agree with you. Lee had nothing today. Coming off of the lows, and how the hell would we know today would be the lows? How would we know that? Well, we would know that after today. Hindsight, right? We would say, oh shit. Well, that might be, you know, Lee's going to put in a 20 million share candlestick, you know, highest in the last month and a half or whatever, and it's going to get all the way up to 28 and a half. Okay, like, damn, that's the lows. Sure as hell would have been nice to gotten in the bottom, but that's also a bunch of hindsight trading. You know, you don't know today's the lows until they've already been put in. So we just got to look for a tight entry after it sets up. But if it is indeed the lows, then it will set up at some point. Yeah, I'll look at the weekly sometimes, but daily and hourly is all I care about. 3 to 5 day momentum bursts still, you know. That's I like to get aggressive into 3 to 5 day momentum bursts, and then be sure to pay myself. You know, anything after that is a bonus for my shares. I don't need an absolutely perfect weekly chart, but yeah, who knows? Yeah, this name like REGN can set up maybe a couple of weeks. Bill maybe finding support on the rising 50, put in its lows in May. It's got a lot of overhead though. That's my problem with it. selling too. This thing's made a pretty big move off the lows so far. But so much overhead. Terrible.
UCLE.
Run. Yeah, these solars don't look bad.
JJSN. UCLE. 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 UCLE.
Yeah. Couple more days for this sedge, and we might have something here. A setup I actually like. Sedge, couple more days. Used to be a big solar leader,
UCLE.
and it could still continue to be a big solar leader. It just needs to flatten out and put in a better right hand side of this base. It could still be one of the better leading names in this market. It's already shown it. Proof is in this massive chart. Massive flag on the monthly. Unbelievable. We'll see. Nothing to do just yet.
RNLX.
But this sedge is looking pretty constructive right now. All things considered, a bit choppy, but yeah, good for these lithium names. New.
PTAM.
Yep. LAC. Always been one of my favorite lithium names. Gave a nice little setup down here on the 60-minute. I just didn't take it. It's a little higher low setup. Down here in the 23s. Didn't take it. Sava, pretty ugly reject today. Hopefully Bitcoin names finish taking a shit. ENVX could use some time. Such an ugly one. Alright, guys, I don't really see a ton to do here anymore. Honestly, it's 10 a.m. I can't imagine I'm going to be opening up anything here. So, we'll see how things close, and then we'll come back early ready tomorrow and see what's holding up. Manage what you have. Don't get aggressive into anything new. Not in this environment. Solar looks the best. Solar looks the best. Names like STEM are holding up okay. You know, names like PDD could use a little more time, but solar by far looks the best. ENPH bounced exactly where you'd expect. You know, ENPH bounced right on the 20. It's kind of exactly what you're expecting. But yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Let's not get too aggressive out there. Protect what you have, protect your capital, protect your mental capital. And we'll come back tomorrow ready to execute. Respect your stops. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.